Wow. And
1, 2, 3.
Sick and tired of believing all the lies you tell yourself. Happiness is your disguise. So what you saying shouldn't come as a surprise to no one. You don't wanna give a chance to nobody. Don't wanna be for nobody. Rather be at peace with somebody. Somebody who loves you.
What's up, guys? It's your girl Mac Ju. I'm back with another video. I'm here with my friends. We're about to get into some good debate with you guys. I hope y'all ready. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. First, I'm gonna let them introduce themselves. Go ahead and start on this side over y'all.
I'm Zaria.
I'm you.
I'm Kaim.
And I'm Kiajanay.
Come up. So we about to get right into
Your
it.
name is Nay.
My name is Nay.
This is about to be interesting. Go ahead, questionnaire.
Okay, so our first question. How do you feel about a long distance relationship? I'm just going by the stars I see, guys.
Who wanna go first?
I'll go first. I'll start by saying that long distance relationships are very sketchy, and I'm not one to go into them super fast because I never know what the other person is doing.
Okay, long distance relationships is not for everyone. It's not for everyone. Everyone is not built for that. So don't try to get into it. I just want to say that mine wasn't, as bad, but I don't think I would do that again, though. That's all I have to say. I don't want to start anything.
I'll go next. I've actually been in one. It was okay, but I broke it off because I moved and it's 3 hours away. And I wasn't doing it.
How do you feel about how many times you should see that person's face?
Like what you
Every
mean?
month?
Like by FaceTiming.
I don't like to
every
see
time you
that.
call, do you want to FaceTime them so you know what they're doing? Or you just call them on the phone and be like, hey, what you doing? They could be
FaceTime.
lying.
Well, since, we're in 2020 right now,
I like to
I like
FaceTime.
FaceTime. It's not just because I want to see what you're doing. It's just like FaceTime. But I don't like people like that. I don't want to talk like that either.
Okay, I'm gonna go next. I feel like they're very doable, but like Max said, they're not for everyone. Like, and like Kaim said, with the calling and FaceTiming, I like to FaceTime. But also, I'm the type of person, he also said, you don't know what that other person do.
You don't know if you're being catfished or not. Like, hey, my name's Aaron, but you're really Amanda. Like, sorry, what?
You know what? I'm gonna just take my answer back. I'm gonna just say they're very doable, but they're not for everybody. That's all I gotta say on it.
Only the strong survive.
Only the strong survive.
What does it take to be strong in a long distance relationship?
Patience.
Patience can't be
A strong mind.
can't be
Trust.
insecure.
Trust?
Yeah, you have to.
How do you establish a trust with somebody you don't know?
You going when you say long distance relationship, you talk about like when you ain't never met the person before.
No, the elementary. We don't do that now. We don't do that.
Like they said, it's not for everybody. Just like, it just ain't for me. It's just something I wouldn't do. Because I have to.
Have any of you had any bad experiences with a long distance relationship?
I wouldn't say it was bad. It could have been better, but it wasn't good. That's all I'm gonna say.
It was mediocre.
I never had one, and I don't plan on having one.
I feel like we just too young. We just got a lot to grow. Just have to grow up. That's all.
You keep trying to scroll.
Go ahead, sis.
I ain't never had a bad experience, but I know if this experience don't work out, I'm done. It's a one and done.
Is it first and last?
It's a one and done. Okay, is that
Okay.
all?
So moving on to our next question.
Great.
Let's stay in the relationship kind of portion of this video, and let's bring about the topics of entanglements.
Entanglement. It's when you tangle in the sheet.
This is not their song. They don't own the rights to this.
We don't own the right.
Not theirs. Don't come
Okay.
I support entanglements 100% if you have an understanding. If
Thank
me and
you.
you, okay, first and foremost, whenever I establish an entanglement, we're gonna have to. I'm gonna tell you what it is before this starts. I'm gonna let you know how it's gonna be going, what you're gonna face during this life situation, because this is a full contract. I need you to know about your feelings that you're gonna have. I just need you to know everything, and I just need you to understand, because once I do what I want to do, you're not a part of that anymore. Whenever I call you, you answer.
It's simple.
You just have to understand, guys.
It has to be an understanding
The
on both
feelings
parts.
really don't need to be there
At all.
Just don't
At
even
all.
try.
To establish what it is and what it ain't from the jump.
If you don't do that, you
It's not
messed up already.
That's a situationship. It went from entanglement to situationship. You
That's
don't want
not
those
the same thing.
situationships. Entanglements are okay, but situationships, somebody get hurt. We don't. That's uncalled for.
Y'all just keep the feelings out. Whenever y'all have an entanglement, y'all just keep the feelings out.
Yeah,
Y'all keep it pushing. You do what you want, they do what they want.
And it's simple.
Period.
Um,
Comma.
So I had an entanglement. I didn't know this very well until all this came on with
Oh, my Lord.
Will and Jada in August. But I didn't have one, and I ain't
Was
too
it
much-
with a Will or August or Jada?
It was with August.
Oh my Lord.
Lord.
So,
Did he end up like August?
And did you end up like Jada explaining to
Jesus Christ.
Louis.
me? My God, my God.
Anyway.
At the end of the day, he was the Will, I was the Jada, because I didn't give a damn.
Wait, he was the Will or the August?
In discussion, he was the Will and the August. He had the big like August, and he was upset like.
I can't even see ya.
I need some shades because.
I'm sorry.
Well then, there you have it. Entanglements.
Zari.
Entanglements?
Not intelligence. It's lacked on this couch, clearly. Intelligence is lacked. Very, very much.
When it comes to entanglements, I'm kind of like with Mac. If you're going to be in an entanglement or whatever you want to call it, no, just have a... Say what it is and what it ain't at the beginning before any feelings get involved. And if feelings do get involved, you need to let the person know so y'all can figure out if y'all want to continue that entanglement or not. Because...
Mute him. Tell them cut that shit out.
Oh, my Lord.
Because if
Ain't no
somebody
feelings.
start catching feelings and then y'all in an entanglement and you don't want that, but you continue to mess with this person who has feelings, that's when it turns into a situationship and now it's a big old problem. So
Comma.
everything with an entanglement, just it needs to be stated at the very beginning. If that cannot be followed, it cannot be continued. Thank you.
I feel that a relationship is between two people, a man and a woman, and
or
if
man
they
and
love
man,
each
or
other.
woman and woman.
I
Or whatever you wanna
believe,
be.
You know, it's 2020.
I personally believe that a relationship is between a man and a woman. And whatever they have going on is between them two. If you decide, hey, I want to go be with somebody else or we can have an open marriage, no, I'm not for it.
No.
You can go be free and you can go have your open marriage with somebody else and don't include me in it.
So you don't like entanglement.
Nope. I don't support them.
Okay.
If we
I
talking
don't
about
need that.
marriage, y'all better not be entangling.
Well, that's what Jada and Will just had going on.
And
No, but
either
But we know
Jada
something
or
else,
Will
like,
would have been
are we
single
married right now?
after that, both of them.
No.
It's okay for us because
We
we're not
are
married. We are
living.
living.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We're living.
I'm going to choose to live the correct way and not be in an entanglement.
Put some of your spirit on
Praise the Lord. Now, I don't mind having friends
It's too much
that
work anyway.
I don't mind like being friends with them and whatever they're doing, they want to come and talk to me about it, and I'll try to give them advice and understand. But I'm also gonna let them know where I stand. Like, no, I don't agree with what you're doing, but I'm not gonna judge you for doing it. Like, I can't say, oh, you don't need to be doing this because it's not healthy for you, and say it in a judgmental way, but I can say it in a friendship kind of way and be like, I
I'ma
support
tell my
you,
friend
and you're not doing
something
this in a healthy way. But I'm not just gonna sit there and tell them, no, I don't like you because you're doing this. That's not something I can
You're
do.
just being an entanglement just with
That's
one
really
person.
Also, if you're in a relationship, don't go find yourself in no entanglement with somebody
Y'all better
else.
not.
If you in a relationship, you have a girlfriend or a boyfriend, you better not.
We speaking for people that's not like that single.
Better
living.
not.
Like, if y'all in a
Be in no
relationship,
entanglement with somebody else.
So what's a relationship?
A committed, I'm your boyfriend, you my girlfriend, vice versa. y'all both know that y'all are in a committed relationship.
So it's a commitment. It's a commitment to be in a relationship with that person and that person only?
A relationship?
Yes.
Yes.
So what's an entanglement? It's not a commitment?
No.
Okay, what is it? Please explain.
Free.
Like friends with benefits type thing.
But that's a
So there's not going to be any feelings there.
It
No,
shouldn't
it
be.
shouldn't. You let them know that. I said that.
So if you get in bed with somebody, you don't have a certain feeling to go get in bed with that person?
Sometimes you just want fuck.
But there's a feeling, right? There's a feeling that you need something and
Not
this
with,
person
it's
can't
not a
fulfill
feeling
it.
with that person. It's a feeling with you that you just try to
Sex
help.
is needed in life.
Baby, yes, it is.
I agree, but there are standards that should be withheld for it, correct? Not
Okay,
with just
Michelle
any and
said-
everybody.
What's that
I
song?
just
Karen?
wanna fuck and not fall in love.
I don't think your body should be given to anybody just because you simply want to. Period. Y'all ready for the next question?
Yes, please.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
You're not supposed to have entanglements with like people.
Yeah.
Look how you looking though. It's funny. Yeah, we're not.
We're not entangling
We're
with
not
like.
hoeing.
No,
Yeah,
that's
no.
not what we do.
No. First of all, none of us are doing
Yeah,
this right
I'm-
here.
I'm
We
no,
speaking.
we're just
I'm in a
talking.
relationship.
I'm not in no entanglement.
If I'm gonna have a relationship with someone and open my boundaries to go and have sex with that person or to be intimate with that person,
Basically,
there's gonna be a relationship there. There's not gonna be no
But
ifs,
that's
ands,
not
or
for
buts about
everybody.
it. You're so correct. I don't think it should be for anybody, but that's my opinion.
You're
once
so
again.
correct.
You're so correct.
That's my opinion once again.
All right. Next
Next
question. Next question. Cause you ain't talking
So
about.
we're gonna leave relationships alone. We might pick them back up in a
I
minute
think we should pick them back up.
because I feel the Lord troubling my spirit.
Yes, you need to speak to us.
Should parents be held responsible for their children's mistakes?
I'll go first.
I need a cigarette for this one.
So with this one, I feel like it depends on the child's age. First of all, of course, if it's a kid like in middle school type stuff, middle school on down, I feel like maybe the parents should have some responsibility for that kid's actions because, I mean, at that age, the parents should still be molding and disciplining the kid for whenever they're older. But when you get those children that are older out of their parents' house and just out there acting crazy all the time, I don't feel like the parents should be responsible for their mistakes because, especially if the parent taught them and showed them everything that they should do correctly at growing up, and they choose to go out in the real world and do whatever they please, that's on them. The parents shouldn't have nothing to do with that. The parent did what they had to do. After they not living with their parents, the parent ain't got nothing to do with that. That's on them. Next.
I agree with what you said, but then I disagree at the same time. I feel like some people at home, they don't get actually raised, to be honest, at all. They don't know what's going on. They don't know what they're doing. They don't even know what's right from wrong, to be honest. And I mean, of course you're gonna grow up, you live and you learn, but it's like your parents still got a big involvement on how you come up in life. So
That's very true.
I feel like parents should be held responsible.
So, should parents be held responsible or accountable?
That's not the same thing.
No.
Well, both. They should be held responsible.
That's why I
and
just looked up the definition because I was curious
go
as
into
well.
detail with it.
But accountable means of a person, organization, or institution required or expected to justify actions or decisions. Parents could be held accountable for their children's actions. Okay. Responsible definition: having an obligation to do something or having control over or care for someone. So accountable is like, you know, you're being held to that standard, but responsible is you're having control over what they're doing. I don't think as a parent excuse me, I'm not a parent. I'm not a parent. I don't think as a parent they have to be responsible for their child's actions because they're not in control of what their child does.
They are at a certain age.
They can't make their child not say a curse word. Their child does whatever their child wants to do. Now their child, okay, but that's not a responsibility. That's accountability. That parent has to be accountable to go and whoop their child for saying a cuss word.
They still responsible at the end of the day. I hear what you're
They're
saying.
responsible
They
because
still
how that
responsible.
kid even learn that curse word.
Right.
They
They
are
might have learned it at
responsible.
school. Their parent might not cuss
that's-
at home. They might hear it at
that's
school,
right.
come
That's
home and
true.
say, Mama, this is what my friend called me today, or Mama, you a B word, and I learned that from my friend. Your parent's not going to teach you to go and cuss them out and say, call me a B word. That's not going to happen.
Well, it do happen in some houses.
I mean, every household is different. You know, people raise their children differently. There's different environments.
Exactly.
You know,
And I do believe
whole
that
nine. So
there can be two children raised in the household and come
They're
out
both
way
completely
different.
different.
Absolutely.
And that is very possible.
Absolutely, I do believe that. So, I think it's just a matter of your own opinion to where the parent should be responsible or accountable. Just make sure you know the definition of both words when you're thinking of that. And I think that parents should be held accountable.
I agree with the accountable.
Okay,
I
so
agree with the
continuing with parents and children, what do you feel about, I was about to say debating children, disciplining children?
Whoop that ass.
I'm gonna whip my child ass, but I'm not gonna abuse them, if that makes sense. I mean,
Discipline
Be
to a
disciplined.
certain
We ain't talking about abuse at all. This is straight discipline.
this
You
is
gonna fucking
discipline.
listen.
Yeah, like,
Ooh, let me calm down.
and you know,
Beep, beep, beep.
a lot of people don't whip their kids no more. They just laugh at the things they do. That's why them kids bad like that.
Some people just be taking some children take their lick and still don't understand. But
Yeah.
that's what I did.
Yeah.
I feel
But-
like when it comes to discipline, like y'all said, not abuse. You gotta discipline children to a certain extent. Like, say you whipping a kid and they still not understanding. Clearly, that type of discipline isn't working. You have to find a type of
You gotta
discipline
talk to
that
them.
works for every kid.
You gotta
something,
talk to
make 'em
them
hurt.
and whip
I
them
like
and
that.
punish
I
them.
like that.
So like those
I like
parents,
that. This
those
is-
All
parents who
three.
whip their
That's the
kids
words
just
I was looking
continuously
for.
whip their kids, and sometimes them kids don't even be knowing like what am I getting whooped for?
Like,
You
it's
know,
different levels.
you
First, I'm
have
gonna
to
talk to
figure
you.
out how is my kid.
My mom would
First, this kid gonna listen to me. If I'm continuously whipping them and they still doing whatever, I need to find a way to make me and this kid have an understanding and know, look, this is not right. You cannot do this stuff like that. You gotta
And
discipline
that's
to a
the
certain
accountability
extent.
of a parent.
Yeah, because first you gotta talk to them.
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna have this understanding. If they don't have the understanding, I'm gonna punish you. You don't get that, I'm gonna whip your ass.
I feel like the way I was disciplined growing up, I feel
Like, it's levels.
I probably like the way I was disciplined. I probably wouldn't do as much as how I was disciplined because I feel like some stuff was kind of overboard. But a lot of stuff, how I was disciplined, worked really well. Like every time I got a whooping, I was explained to as of why I was getting a whooping or why is this happening. And afterwards, we always sat down and talked through it. Like, you know,
I'm only doing this because I love you. It's gonna hurt you more than it's gonna,
You
it's
know,
gonna hurt me more
mama
than it's gonna
don't
hurt
like to whip you.
Excuse me. Personally, whippings did not help me at all. So I feel like we gotta take something
I
from
like
me.
that.
See, my mama used to take stuff from me, like my phone, or I couldn't go to basketball practice, couldn't be on the basketball team. It'd be stuff like that that made me learn
And
to
that's-
actually do what I'm supposed to be doing.
and that's
that's
the punishment.
different
And I
types
like
of
that.
discipline.
And that's the
And I-
punishment.
I think I'm pulling this from the book of Medea somewhere, you know.
Little
she,
Timmy.
She might have said that you can beat one child and they'll understand, but then you can just give the other one a look and they're
They'll
gonna
understand.
understand.
Mhm.
So like how they started this discussion, it was like, oh, you gotta beat them, you gotta whoop them, you gotta do this. I was like, no, y'all, that's not. But then it started going on, and I guess they started realizing that, no, whooping them is not the only way. So I like how this has progressed from just beating them, from just whooping them. You don't beat your children. From disciplining them or whooping them to like punishments and taking things away.
That's,
It's
like I
like
said,
that's
that's all
progressed.
different
Yeah.
types of discipline. You gotta figure out which type of discipline works for your child.
Don't
What might
keep
not
hitting
work.
your child with extension cords
Yeah.
and paddles
Don't
and
do
belts
it.
and
Don't do
slippers,
that
at all.
and
Don't
you're
do
not
that.
getting you're not getting a response from it.
No.
Okay, find what works for your child. Find what discipline is gonna work for your
Your
child.
child might just need help at the end of the day.
And make
Exactly.
sure
That's where you gotta
understand
talk
Your
to
child
them
may need
first.
an
Talk to the
explanation.
You talk
That
to
that
them.
really goes
Come
so
into my
far.
office
Like,
and have
a
a
lot of kids
Yes.
growing up, they get disciplined in a certain way and they're never heard.
They
Like
don't
maybe I'm
understand
acting
what's
out like
going
this
on.
because of this or something, and they just steadily getting whipped. Nobody is talking to them, trying to
Exactly.
understand them,
Have
or
a
trying to find a way to
understanding.
help them act
Y'all
better.
gonna make me shut
And
up.
that's when they grow up and they start, you know, it's all types of other stuff that go into it. So I feel like I said, types of discipline. You better not.
You know I cry for everything.
Absolutely, I agree. I think that there's different, like she was saying, different levels to a discipline, and that also goes into your relationship with your children. Like
Yeah.
parents cannot not have a relationship with your child and then put your hands on them. That's not giving them any more reason to have a relationship with you.
Or respect
So like
them.
you cannot.
Cause now they
Like,
confused.
okay, so in a single mother home, a mother's raising a male child. Of course, that male child's not going to get everything they need from a mother. They need a male figure to know how to be a male. You know?
And also,
so,
a female needs a male figure to know what to expect from a man as
absolutely,
well.
absolutely. So, like,
The
a
correct-
male
the
that's
correct
absent
way.
from a
We can
household,
go
Correct
off
way.
topic. This not
a
no
male that's
discipline no
absent
more.
from the household can't come in and constantly discipline a child in the same exact way, which is whooping them, and then leave again.
Right.
Okay, so that child's going to say, okay, I'm supposed to just go home, whoop my child, and leave. Like,
Then leave.
you can't do that. Peace out.
First of all, I wish my daddy would came in, or my mom, or anybody, whichever one I wasn't living with at the time. I wish somebody would have came in and tried to beat me and then leave.
Cause who are you?
But you're a child, so you don't understand that
I
back then
understand
what
now,
you do
and I was
now.
gonna remember, and I was gonna.
Cause now I know it is up. It's up now. Cause I know.
I got some people in mind.
I got a list.
Next question, please.
Hey.
20 minutes.
Okay. Should sexual education be mandatory in middle school or high school? Should it be mandatory in school period? Let's just say school. Go ahead. Whomsoever would like to speak.
I think sexual education is mandatory because
It should be
it's
mandatory.
should be mandatory because it's younger people like 13, 14-year-olds getting pregnant. I don't like that.
Mhm.
So I feel like if they actually know about what sex is and the diseases that come with it and all the other stuff that comes with it, I feel like, or if their parent doesn't talk to them about it, then they should. I feel like it should be in school. I took a sexual.
So you
education
think it
class.
should be mandatory?
Hell yeah. It's
Go
hell
ahead.
not a cuss word.
Me, Mackenzie Marks. I feel that sexual education should be highly mandatory in middle school and high school
Mandatory.
because these children need it. It's 2020. They got children way younger than me having children. They children cheering and cheering.
My kids ain't gonna
And-
have no kids to play with.
Oh,
And like another thing, it goes back to the parents. They're not doing what they're supposed to be doing at home
At
to
home.
teach their children about sex.
Talk to
period.
y'all kids.
You're not teaching them how to have sex. You're teaching them about sex.
Talk to
Like,
your
they
kids,
need
go
to
through their
know.
phones, go through their Google search, whatever kind of phone.
No, we didn't say
search
all
it
that.
all.
We didn't say all
So
that.
I think
They need
that
to.
it should be optional, not mandatory. I don't think that every child should have to sit down in a classroom and learn about the ways of life. I don't think that it's mandatory. I think it should be optional. Now, the parents should have a consent. Like the parents should have to sign something and say it's okay for my child to go through this, but the parents shouldn't be
they
told.
do.
They do that.
But the parents shouldn't be told your child has to go through this.
Well, my
Mandatory is you
grandma had
have to do it. Optional is you can if you want
They
to.
gave us a consent.
I
My
still
grandma
feel
had
like
to
it
sign
should
a
be
paper for us
mandatory.
to
So
go
they
back
have to
school.
do it? They should have to do it?
Yeah.
I don't agree. I'm sorry.
I feel like they should. I feel like because the only reason I feel like the consent, I feel like it shouldn't be a consent from the parents is because sometimes you got them parents that be out there doing their thing all the time, not teaching these children sex education, and they out there going crazy in the world doing all they sex education type stuff, and then they get a paper sent home talking about something, we want to teach your kid about sex education, and they say no, and this kid is seeing what they parent doing.
But okay,
They know nothing
you can't
about
really fault
that,
the
and
parent
they're not
because
getting
the
taught.
parent was once a kid too. You don't know what that parent was exposed to as a kid. I mean, there's
This
different
is all.
levels to
There's
it.
generational things to
Yeah,
how you raise your
it's a
children.
lot of
I
levels
strongly
to a lot
believe
of
that.
stuff. Yes.
And that is why that needs to be mandatory.
That makes it even more.
That's what I'm saying.
I still think it should be optional.
And then they don't just talk about sex in the class
Okay,
anyway.
so
They
not a
talked
teacher.
about my period and everything.
I said
as
me
well.
first
They
and
talked
then
about a
maybe
lot
a
of
teacher.
things in
That's what I'm
sexual
saying.
Absolutely,
education.
I
me
agree
first
with
and
that.
I
then
feel
the
like
class.
They do. I feel like it
But
should
you
be
still have that
optional.
option.
I
Yeah,
mean,
you're right.
I agree with that. So you agree
I'm gonna
with
talk
me.
to my child. Look at him.
Yeah,
I'm gonna talk to my
yeah.
child regardless.
Still disagree.
And see,
of
that's
the fact.
my
And that's
mama.
okay.
My mama never talked to me.
Mine
Until
didn't
after
either.
the fact.
Till after the fact,
Yeah,
right?
and
I'm
I
gonna
didn't.
talk
Me
to my
personally, I
child
didn't
way-
like that because
Nobody
I'm
took.
like,
I'm
they
19
already know.
I'm 19
already
years
know.
old,
I
and nobody to
already
this day
know.
I already
has
know.
sat down and had a
Yeah.
conversation with me just out of the blue unless I went to them and asked them a question.
Correct. And I don't want my child to feel like that. I want to talk to them so they know everything.
As a parent, I want to sit down and have a conversation with my
my
child.
cousin was
Before
I don't want.
something happens.
I don't want Miss Huckleberry to be telling my child
You're
about
pregnant.
herself.
You're pregnant.
She tells she pregnant. They ain't telling her how she got pregnant or how to go get pregnant.
Right.
Mm-mm.
I feel like y'all misunderstanding what the sexual educational class actually teaches.
I mean, I took.
I ain't never had it, so I don't know.
I know
what it
that's
is.
what I'm
Teach about-
saying. Like
teach
y'all,
about
like
your body, though. Like,
y'all.
I
I
took
don't know,
it in
y'all
middle
talking about it
school.
whole different, like emotional wise and stuff like that, and y'all not actually like what they actually teach
it
you.
just talks about like the biology
I
of the
took
body.
it. I took it in 7th grade.
Wow.
And
1, 2,
1, 2,
3.
3, go.
Yes, Jesus loves me.
Someone's flat, but come on.
Yes, Jesus loves me.
For why? Why does he love you?
Yes, Jesus loves me.
If you can't get it, don't go.
For the Bible
Tells me so. One more time. For the Bible tells me so.
Amen. All praise. All praise.
That's on comment. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure y'all press that thumbs up. Give me a good old ring on the bell. You heard me? We're going to keep it pushing. Y'all stay blessed, and I love y'all.
Peace out.
Do the little hand thing.